Hey, what's up guys, it's France here. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about the massive Bitcoin supply shock that I believe will happen in the year 2021. So what I did is I took financial statements, 10Ks, annual reports, 10Qs, quarterly reports of all major companies that I know of. And I also looked at many famous Bitcoin figureheads like Mike Novogratz, Winklevoss twins, Earl Paul, and I tried to make an Excel spreadsheet just to figure out how much Bitcoin is being hodled out there. And also with that, I wanted to see how much Bitcoin supply we have left over for all these new people coming into Bitcoin. So I just wanted to see how little Bitcoin supply there is left. And after crunching the numbers, guys, I truly believe that there's not a lot of Bitcoin out there to onboard all these new multi-billionaires, new multi-millionaires just to own a piece of Bitcoin. So we're going to look into that into detail in this video. And also guys, before we get started, I definitely would appreciate it if you guys give me a thumbs up below. I'm really trying to grow my YouTube channel. I really want to become a full-time YouTuber one day so I can create 4, 5, 6 videos a week for you guys. And also guys, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I am giving away 5% of my YouTube ad revenue back to the community just for all your support. So on my last video, I actually announced that I'll be giving away $5 worth of Ethereum for anyone that puts their Ethereum address down in the videos below. And I realized that a lot of you guys, the address that you gave me just wasn't working. I tried to put it on an Etherscan just to make sure that it was an Ethereum address, but it just wasn't working. So I feel like from now on, the best thing for me to do is just to do my giveaways during my lives. So for as many of you guys know, I do my lives 12 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Greenwich. Now, many of you are subscribers from around the world. You might be in Asia, you might be in Europe. So your time zone might be different compared to mine. So my live at 12 p.m. might not be beneficial for you guys. Give me a comment down below and let me know if 12 p.m. Lives is just not working for you guys. All right guys, so right here you're looking at an Excel spreadsheet that I made, and I just took the current BTC supply right now that's out in the market. Currently looking at CoinGecko, it's currently February 13th. By the time I upload this video, it's going to be a few days later. Currently it's February 13th and we have roughly 18.6 million Bitcoins. So what I did is I know that 900 Bitcoins are being mined every single day. So what I did is, between now and the end of the year, roughly 288,000 Bitcoins will be produced by the end of the year. So with that, at the end of the year, we're going to be very close to 19 million Bitcoins produced. Not quite. It's going to be 18.9 million Bitcoins produced by the end of the year that's going to be circulating in the market. So out of that, guys, we know from history that it's going to be roughly 4 million Bitcoins lost or stolen, and it's never going to be recouped. So with that, there's really only 14.9 million Bitcoins remaining to be hodled or sold in the market, guys. So let's take a look one by one. So we know that Satoshi holds roughly 1.1 million Bitcoins. We know that. Now this figure here is questionable. I'm not sure if this is the case, but I've heard sources that Chamath, this Indian guy, holds roughly 1 million Bitcoin. We've had sources from back in the day where he mentioned that he potentially holds 1 million Bitcoin. Now, this is definitely questionable. I feel like this is such a large number. He might have sold a lot of this by now. So this is going to be a questionable number, but I went ahead and highlighted that. And I'm just going to assume that he holds 1 million Bitcoin. Now, this one, Grayscale, is actually a pretty accurate figure. Now, I don't have their 10K just as of yet. I only have their figures as of September 9/30, but it's pretty safe to assume that Grayscale should have roughly 526,000 Bitcoins by now, if not more. I wouldn't be surprised if as of now, Grayscale has very close to 1 million Bitcoins on their balance sheet. Mike Novogratz, I'm going to estimate that he has roughly, 500,000 Bitcoins on his balance sheet by now. The Winklevoss twins, now it's said that they have roughly 1% of the Bitcoin circulating supply. So I'm just going to assume it's roughly 210,000 Bitcoins they have in their balance sheet. Now, Roger Ver, I'm going to assume that he has 100,000 Bitcoin on his balance sheet. Now, MicroStrategy, this is actually public information. So if we look, so right here, guys, so MicroStrategy has roughly 1.125 billion in Bitcoins on their balance sheet, guys. So that equates to roughly 70,469 Bitcoin. So that's pretty accurate, this number here. Who knows if they bought more? since they filed their financial statements. Now, Raul Paul, I'm going to guess that he has roughly 1,000 Bitcoins, just based on his comments of being 98% of his liquid net worth in crypto. I'm going to guess that he has about 1,000 Bitcoins on his balance sheet. Tim Draper, 32,000 Bitcoins is a pretty good guess for him. Michael Saylor, CEO of MicroStrategy, probably has 18,000 Bitcoins on his balance sheet. Now, Tesla, this is public information. They mentioned that they bought 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoins. Now, I'm going to assume an average buy price of about 30,000 per coin, because they probably bought this sometime in January, early February. So I'm going to assume roughly 50,000 Bitcoins in Tesla's balance sheet. Now, Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter, I would assume that he has about 5,000 Bitcoins on his balance sheet. Now, he didn't say back in the day that he was maxing out buying Bitcoin on Cash App back in the day. So I would assume that he has roughly 5,000 Bitcoins on his balance sheet. This guy's a rich guy, guys. So 5,000 Bitcoins can easily be done, especially if he's truly convicted in producing that. North Korea, I've heard sources that they have roughly 30,000 Bitcoins on their balance sheet. Now, other countries, now this is not confirmed. Now, again, I have all these numbers highlighted in yellow that are questionable, but I try to be as conservative as I can. Other countries, could potentially have 5,000 Bitcoins on their balance sheet, all right? Now, you have, many Bitcoin hodlers out there that I haven't even mentioned, like Max Kaiser, many famous Bitcoin figureheads. I'm just going to assume that they have roughly 50,000 Bitcoins on their balance sheet, the top 5 of them, like, for example, Max Kaiser. You have private equity funds, rich family private equity funds, hedge funds, 27,000 Bitcoins on their balance sheet. Now, you have other U.S. institutions like Fidelity, Backed, you have the NASDAQ. They don't have exact figures of how much Bitcoins they have on their balance sheet disclosed, but it's pretty safe to assume that all these United States institutions, will probably have around 100,000 Bitcoin on their balance sheet as a whole. If you think about it, guys, if MicroStrategy is one company, including Michael Saylor, has roughly 70,000 Bitcoin. Now, all these other institutions, like all these companies in the US, for them to have 100,000 Bitcoins on their balance sheet combined, it's not far-fetched. So I believe that 100,000 Bitcoins on their balance sheet is very conservative. Now, retail hodlers like you and me, you might have 1, 2, 3, maybe even 10, 20 Bitcoins, like really small players, but there's a lot of us, guys. So we definitely add up. So I'm going to assume that all of us, like you and me, retail hodlers, we probably have 250,000 Bitcoins on our balance sheet, guys. So altogether, guys, if we add that up, there's currently 4 million, just over 4 million Bitcoins right now being hodled. Now, again, some of us are selling off our Bitcoin, but most of us, I believe, 4 million Bitcoins is truly being hodled. So what does that leave us? So that leaves us with roughly 10.8 million Bitcoins left in circulation. All right, guys. So what I did is I took a number in 2019. So this is probably the most current data that I could find. So in 2019, there was an estimated roughly 46.8 million millionaires in 2019. Now, in 2020, a lot of millionaires have been produced. So by now, I expect in 2021, we easily have 50 million millionaires. So what I did is I took the 50 million millionaires that I believe that we have right now currently in fiscal year 2021, and I took the remaining Bitcoin that I expect to be circulating around the market. So that's about 10.8. So if every millionaire were to equally split the remaining Bitcoin which is 10.8, that would leave each millionaire with about 0.21 Bitcoin. So just think about that, guys. Like, if you're a millionaire right now watching this video and you wanted to own a piece of Bitcoin, if all the other millionaires in the world wanted to do the same thing, maybe do a 1-2% allocation of their portfolio into Bitcoin, you guys wouldn't be able to even have a full Bitcoin. Now, for any of you guys that are watching this that owns one full Bitcoin, or your portfolio in crypto is one full Bitcoin equivalent, definitely pat yourself in the back, because that is a very great achievement. Because think about this, guys, like, even not all millionaires can own one full Bitcoin. That's crazy to me, guys. So 0.21 Bitcoins if they were to split the remaining Bitcoin supply around the world. All right, so let's assume an average Bitcoin price of about $50,000. So right now, if each millionaire were to split the remaining Bitcoin supply that would be roughly $10,800 per Bitcoin. But then again, this price is questionable because as each millionaire buys Bitcoin, the price will just continue to go up. So as each millionaire starts to buy, starts to allocate 1-2% of their portfolio into Bitcoin, this 10,800 figure will just go up and up and up. So eventually, right now, it's only 10,800 for you to become sort of in the top 1% of the world, guys. But as we keep moving on through time, going into 2022, 2023, it's going to be harder and harder and harder to obtain Bitcoin, guys. And this average buy price is going to keep going up and up and up to be the top 1% of the world. I believe that currently right now, I believe that if you own 0.21 Bitcoins, I believe that you are in the top 1% of the world if you own 0.21 Bitcoins. Now, finally, guys, I took a number for billionaires. So I took, in 2019, there's roughly 2,825 billionaires. I would expect in 2021, there should be about roughly 3,000 billionaires, maybe slightly less. So for every billionaire to split the remaining supply of Bitcoin, that would leave each billionaire to split roughly 3,600 Bitcoins. So there's not a lot of Bitcoins to split, guys. So currently, Apple, as of December 26th, let's look at their balance sheet. Let's go down their balance sheet. Here we go. So as of December 26th, guys, Apple has 36 billion in cash on their balance sheet. That's a lot, guys. 36 billion in cash on their balance sheet. Just imagine if they allocated just a small percentage of that, like let's say 2 billion. 2 billion out of 36 billion in cash on their balance sheet. That's going to be a massive, massive driver for Bitcoin price. And I believe that between all the FANG stocks, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, I believe Apple has the best shot for buying Bitcoin into their balance sheet. Right now, Tesla bought Bitcoin, and Tesla doesn't even have anything to do with Bitcoin. They're a car company. For me, the closest company with regards to Bitcoin is the fact that they have payments, which is Apple Pay. I believe that Apple is the closest contender out of all the FANG stocks to be buying Bitcoin. So it's actually very surprising to me that Tesla bought Bitcoin but not Apple. So I'm gonna wait to see for the 10Q. So Apple will release the next quarter filing and sometime in April of 2021. So I can't wait to see what they're going to be doing. Hopefully by that time, the 10Q in April of 2021, hopefully we see some news that Apple actually bought Bitcoin and that they're accepting Bitcoin as payment. So that's one thing that I'm going to be looking forward to, which will really, really drive the price of Bitcoin, guys. Now, for me, I'm just so convicted right now that I believe that $100,000 Bitcoin is very, very conservative. I believe that $200,000 Bitcoin is my brand new realistic price target for this bull market cycle. All right, guys, so last thing that I'm going to end with is the Bitcoin dominance. So currently right now we've been on a downward move for the Bitcoin dominance, which is good for me and you altcoin holders out there. Again, I am very convicted with Bitcoin, but I also hold a lot of alts. I'm not a maximalist in Bitcoin, and I'm also not a maximalist in alts. I like to hold Bitcoin as well as alts. So with that, I like to take a look at dominance. So currently right now, dominance, we've been on a downward move for dominance. I feel like once we really hit or break the 50% Bitcoin dominance mark, I'm going to start selling my altcoins into Bitcoin, guys. If just in case we get altcoin cycle before the Bitcoin peak, and if we get an altcoin cycle and Bitcoin hasn't hit $100,000, most likely I'll sell most of my altcoin bags into Bitcoin. That's my plan, guys. So we'll see. We'll wait and see what happens because last market cycle in 2017, 2018, we had 2 altcoin cycles. We had one in June of 2017, and then we had one in January of 2018 where Bitcoin peaked in December and then altcoin peaked 2 weeks later. Maybe this cycle, it might be different. We might just have one big altcoin cycle and then Bitcoin peaks later. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on that, guys. But if we were to hit the 50% Bitcoin dominance, I'm probably going to sell at least 25% of my altcoin bags and put it into Bitcoin. And who knows, maybe we might have an altcoin cycle later again. But that's my plan, guys. If we hit the 50% dominance, I'll be selling my altcoins into Bitcoin. All right, guys, so definitely thank you for watching my video. I definitely appreciate all of you guys that have stayed until the end of the video. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, definitely like down below. It helps the YouTube algorithm. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, guys. I'll see you next time.